Okay. The next item is a hearing of visitors, and each visitor can speak for 5 minutes. You have to be signed up in the back, and when you come up to speak, the first thing you got to do is announce what your address is, and it's not a debate, so when you speak for 5 minutes, at the end of that 5 minutes, you're done. You don't get a second chance, okay? Okay, bring it here, okay? I'm trying to keep them in order, but I might not have them. Okay. All right. Michelle Laidner, you're the first one in. Get to speak.
Michelle.
He's outside. Can you go with somebody next?
Oh, I can call somebody else. Okay.
That's all right.
Krista Rummery.
Hi. Hi, my name's Krista Rummery. I'm a little shocked to be here. Mostly shocked about what's happened. And it's really sad to me because not only what's happened in the past, but going forward. How are we going to move forward? Because this isn't something that, oh, I'm sorry, 700 Hartman. So anyway, this isn't something that happened overnight. This has been going on for a while. I read somewhere that they said that the euthanasia dogs were put up somewhere in the police department. Is the animal control part of the police department? Isn't it a division of it?
No.
So okay, so they don't have access, is that what you're saying? Did nobody notice whenever nobody repurchased these things, that there was just a never-ending supply? Did they not wonder where all of these animals were going? And what's heartbreaking is there have been so many programs and so many organizations who will come forward. They will help your city. They will give you programs. They'll give you, they'll come and train you for that matter. And grants, there are things available. So it's not a matter of even money. It's just cruel and completely inhumane. How can you not know that this is going on? I mean, you are the mayor. You're responsible ultimately. Allowing this to continue, pretending to say, well, I don't know, I'm not aware, or allowing it to, if he doesn't speak about it, that you're just going to let it go and not charge him for each and every individual dog that was killed. This is improper euthanasia. This is animal cruelty. And last I checked, shooting a dog in Texas was a felony. I don't have anything else to say to you.
Thank you.
I'm Michelle Wagner, I'm here.
Okay, come to the speak. And you may not have been here whenever you need to give your address before you start.
My physical address?
Where you live, yes.
Like just the city. We don't need physical.
We need the street and the city.
So you want me to announce my address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 125 Dawn Drive, Silsbee,
Okay.
77656.
Okay.
I'm Michelle Wagner, I'm Evangelist to the Rescue. I am the one that found the dogs at our animal shelter. This dog was killed and thrown in our creek in the woods. And you sit up here and you say that you don't know what's going on in your city? This has been going on for 2 weeks. It's been on the news, and you're going to give me the excuse you don't know? And then you're going to sit here and let Deanne Zimmerman investigate when she's the cousin of Josh Nolan? That is a dog that I pulled out of the creek myself. These dogs were shot in the head because our city council won't provide the necessary drugs to properly euthanize them and dispose them. You want to throw it all on Josh Nolan? It's not just Josh Nolan.
That's all of them.
It's not Josh Nolan. I came to you personally December 10th, and I offered you my help. I said I would volunteer, I would clean, I would mow, I would do anything that you needed me to do to help that shelter. You never reach back out to me. I told you we could work together or I could be your enemy. Get your head out your butt and do your damn job.
Ma'am, you need to watch how you're talking up there.
And you need to do your job and stop letting this corruption going on in your city.
Yeah.
There was no evidence. There was 26 dogs out there. There were 7 dogs that I counted, that I dealt with. Y'all brushed it out. Y'all were brushing underneath the rug like nothing has happened, and then you're going to slap him on the wrist with a misdemeanor? Are you freaking kidding me? A misdemeanor. Every one of y'all need to think about what y'all are doing and not supporting this community and find a resolution to our problem of the dogs being overpopulated over here. We have animal cruelty and animal neglect. Do you write a fine? Does your sheriff or your cops write a fine in this city to animals that are being neglected and abused? Not one ticket. I have been out on many calls with some of these people. Many calls for Josh and Owen to help him out of my time, out of my money, because y'all won't do your damn jobs up here. I will properly bury this dog so that he can have it. And at not one point, I've made this known in the past 2 weeks that I've had this dog. Not one person in authority has asked me for this dog.
They don't care.
They don't care. They don't care what you think.
Don't give them the dog.
Don't give them the dog.
Hey, okay, thank you for coming.
What y'all gonna do about it?
Lene Newton.
Do what? Hey,
Last name is Minton.
Okay. Thank you.
8414 Gregory Drive, Silsbee, Texas. Mayor, you're an elected official. You need to lose your job and you all need to be replaced. This is unacceptable behavior. Do any of you all own animals?
I have 2 that are part of my family, so trust me, I'm just as outraged.
Okay, then you all should have known what was going on in your own city. You should have known. So don't look at me like you're surprised that we're up here and we're all livid. We're mad. It's unacceptable. It's cruelty.
We don't disagree.
Hey, don't say nothing.
That's all I have to say.
Okay,
You're
thank you.
elected. You need to lose your job.
Yeah.
You can't just say, don't say nothing.
I mean, but they can't. I mean, they have to be called out. I'll be glad.
I'll tell you, I've been mayor for 3 years in this city, and this incident's the first complaint about dogs that has been addressed to me.
That's not true. We've all
That's the honest God truth.
We've all
I've had a lot of complaints about cats, I've had 3 complaints about horses,
This isn't about the
none about
people,
dogs.
complain about your
Okay,
employees first.
Carrie Romero,
Answer me a simple question.
you've already spoke, sit down.
You number 2
Yeah.
For what you've done, Roger, is not on Josh. You do not deserve that position.
That's public meeting, you ain't gotta leave.
We didn't do it, we didn't cause it.
I understand, but we don't.
Carrie Romero.
CREST circle. We're outside of the city limit. We moved here 2 years ago from Houston. We bought a house. And in that 2 years, we have accumulated 12 dogs, or 12. I initially reached out to Josh and was asking him, like, can I get some help? You know, we moved here with 3, and people just keep coming out there and dumping, and it's just a vicious cycle. And he pretty much told me that his hands are tied, that I had 2 options. Either he goes, most people out there just shoot them, or bring it into the city limits, right where the city, and he mentioned, I guess a lot of people dump dogs at the bridge, and to drop them off there, but not to get caught. I know that, you know, the whole thing with the animal shelter, I feel like y'all closing it down is going to be a domino effect for us that live outside of the city limits. It's a huge problem out there with people dumping dogs. We took in 2 puppies, the girl ran over it. She's like, oh, he doesn't do nothing. You know, his leg was completely broken in half. And it's just, you know, it's only been 2 years and we've accumulated 12. We've had them all spayed. We've had them all neutered. This comes out of my pocket. We pay for their vaccinations, for their food. And I feel like getting rid of the animal shelter here is like the worst thing that can happen. I think that y'all need to get together, and my husband used to write grants, and there are so many grants out there for this issue that y'all are having here. I also feel that Josh is not the only one to blame here, and I really feel that his hands were tied, and he told me several times that his hands were tied and that there was nothing that he could do. And having a budget for $500 for dog food for a year, I mean, we spend $300 every 2 weeks to feed all of these strays that we've taken in. And I feel like the city needs to, there's so much help. We came from Houston, there's so many programs. You know, I get it, like the demographics out there, it's more lower income, but there's low income programs to get them spayed and neutered. You know, I know that they said that, or Josh on his statement said that most of the dogs that were shot were aggressive. But it's just, I think the city of Silsbee needs to really look into getting a grant to build a bigger facility, because it's out of, I've never seen it this bad anywhere. I mean, and we come from Houston, and it's pretty bad in Houston. But one thing about Houston and here is that they take care of those animals. They don't shoot them, they euthanize them properly. And that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Susan Lynn.
Susan Lynn.
Well, somebody pointed right in what I was gonna speak on. You need my address?
We need your address and where you live.
I live at 8048 FM 1122, outside of the city limits.
Okay, go ahead and speak up.
Okay. Well, first, I wanted to bring up the grants issue and another, why are we not? If you guys are too small for just Silsbee, or just Coons, or just Jasper, you know, or not Jasper, but Lumberton, why don't we band together as one great big huge Hardin County shelter, so that you have employees that will watch each other, make sure everybody's doing their jobs? Because the thing that gets me about this, the whole thing, is the intake, the lack of intake, the lack of knowing where they went, the outtake. there's like no supervision. I don't think I've ever met somebody in my life that was able to go to a job and literally no one ever cared what he was doing at that job. From what they say of how it looks on the inside, not clean, and we all know because I've taken pictures since it's gotten caught, and you guys are out there cleaning it like crazy now. Broken beds, everything. So that was my one point I don't understand. If you can't do it alone, we all know that you can band together and get it done. If you want an example, my daughter-in-law, she's from North Carolina, Avery County, and they literally got donations. They opened up a shelter. People don't even have an animal catcher. People in the community bring the animals to them, and then they help find homes. They all work together. So the other thing is, so you have a shelter and it's out in Timbuktu in the woods. There's no Silsbee shelter like where by Parker's, so that people are driving in and out of town, Silsbee shelter this way. Or even when you get in the neighborhood, the small little, what's the name of that tree? Woodville? There's no even there. You don't even see a sign saying that there's a shelter there until you actually can visibly see the shelter there. I've gone by so many times to try to catch Josh there to see if I can volunteer so I could see inside. Once I realized that he was no longer posting the dogs on social media, I'm like, where are these dogs going? Well, I was told and I trusted that he said that they were working with rescues, but they can only do so much. They can't take all the dogs, so then where did the overflow go? You know, there's no answer for any of these, where the dogs went, what rescue they went to, because why? Because he says he didn't have a laptop. You know, we do have paper and pencil still in this country, so that could have been. Where is the oversight for any of that? Did y'all not want to know what he was doing out there, or care what he was doing in the woods? I just moved here in 2024, and I haven't had a problem for the first 6 months of 3 big dogs running back and forth behind. I've got video of it. And I have a 4-year-old grandbaby. Well, different, now she's 4, but when we first moved in, she was 3. That I had to worry about these dogs eating it. And I have a fenced-in yard. The rest of it's fenced in, but they can climb over, do whatever. And I was just always told that it didn't matter. So why do we not have a leash law? People do not have a right just to open their front door and say, okay, go do whatever you want for 3 hours. Go, you know, find some heat girls and make some puppies and make some people take care of them. It doesn't make any sense to me. Just because you live in the county, it shouldn't be that way.
You might need to address that with the county commissioners, because I think they're on the same page. But, go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. And then the volunteers, why is there not like a web page or something showing when volunteers can come out at a certain hour of the day? If he had to go on a call, then someone could have been there helping them clean it up. And why you don't have a web page for the actual Silsbee shelter, like any other entity that you guys have? Why is there not one that shows the dogs and what's happening to them? And did he or did he not have a scanner to scan for the chips? So if he was no longer posting on social media asking, hey, is this your dog? How was he to know that the dogs that he was giving away or killing was actually somebody's pet that they're looking for? And then, yeah, so I covered that. And so basically the other thing is, this is up for debate. Was Silsbee shelter a kill or no kill shelter? Was it supposed to be a no kill shelter? Or was it a kill shelter the whole time?
They're not allowed to answer you.
Why not?
Because it's not on the agenda. They're not allowed to, this is a hearing of the visitors. They're not allowed to answer you in this part of the.
Well, that just answered.
Mayor,
Okay, well,
You just answered.
so all we want is if you guys can't answer us, then direct, you can't answer us. You can't.
They'll be discussing this, it's actually on the agenda on the meeting.
selective answering now?
The policies for the shelter are on the agenda for the meeting on the 16th.
On the 16th.
Turn the mic up. We can't hear you.
The same.
Facebook and the internet made it about tonight.
Okay.
It's going to be addressed.
Urgency,
very
not
important.
Okay, so you're saying
The fact
the
that it's
16th of this
On
month,
Monday,
it's on Monday, it's gonna be addressed.
Yeah, the policies for the shelter are on the agenda for the meeting on the 16th, yes.
And has anybody, and this is on record, that they said that there is only hot water out there, there is no
Again, they're
cold
not
water?
allowed to answer the
I'm
question.
not, I'm just, it's a statement, I'm just telling you.
I think the
Okay, and then the other thing is there, so y'all can address it, is the fact of the euthanasia medicine. Somebody said that they did not have record of Silsbee County having any euthanasia medicine, period whatsoever. And then somebody else says that they did have it and it was sent to the city hall. So that needs to be rectified. Did we have euthanasia medicine here or did we not? I think that covered all my points.
Now they're quiet.
Because that's a big, you know, that goes into the a kill or no kill. So if you've got the you know, you want him to go to have a license to do it, he said he wasn't doing it, but yet we find out that he's shooting them. Wouldn't it have been easier if he was just using the right protocol? Which, like vets offices, you know, they do sprays and neuters 1 day a week or 2 days a week. You could have 1 day a week that someone comes out and does it, you know, humanely. And not being shot in the head, if you want to have a kill shelter.
Sherry Renee Anthony.
Yes, sir. My name is Sherry Renee Anthony, and I reside at 3801 Pine Tree Lane, Silsbee, Texas. I work along with all the rescues, and we're trying to get laws better for these animals, to be their voices. I run a page that's called Laws for Falls, Let's Be Their Voices. When Josh was first hired on, we met him, my husband and I, we met him. We told him, hey, you bring dogs in, you pick up, let us know when you got one. So we can come by. I had another rescue lady, so we come by and take pictures. We go ahead and try to get them out there on the page that we were running, all by volunteers. We also try to get them back to the owners if they're lost, or also if you hold them for the 72 hours, then we could get them adopted out. I was also told it was a no-kill shelter. Josh himself told me he was not going to get his license to euthanize. He was against it. So this was all a big shock to me of what has come forth about what Josh has done to these poor animals and these people that are walkable. They don't know where their animals are. I mean, if you're an animal lover, y'all should have compassion of how these animals should be taken. They are God's creatures. We have to help them. I know we are in a bad situation with the overpopulation. We need to work with y'all and get low-cost spay and neuter programs. We need a bigger shelter so we can house this. We don't need to be a third world country where we're overran by animals. We've already got advocates taking care of the cat colonies. We're trying to take care of these animals, these dogs. We have to be their voices. So I don't know what to say now. When I spoke to Josh before, when he put on there that he needed dog food for all these dogs. Our community came forth and gave him a lot of dog food. He goes, oh, I don't need no more right now. Then he tells me in another advocate that the city came down on him for asking for help. Y'all should be thankful that our community wants to help. It helps y'all in a way. And I don't know all the budgets, but it does help y'all in the long run with the city. But it's also, we've taken in, Right now, my husband and I, we have 13 dogs we're taking care of. 7 of our own that were rescues. We fell in love. That's when I met Josh, when I came and got one of ours out of the shelter, and he was going to be going, the guy that was mistreating him was going to court, so we held on to him. We ended up adopting him. He's the best dog ever. We've got other dogs we've taken in out of our own pocket. And we bottle, my husband and I, we're in our 50s, almost 60, and we are bottle feeding these babies every 2 hours. And we're just, I mean, you can look at my arms, what I've been through with these dogs, scratches, and it's putting a damper on my health. But we've got to come together and help. I mean, we've got 6 more that's left that we've been fostering with, bottle feeding all. They're old enough now. 4 are leaving to go to Canada Tuesday. This is all out of our pockets. All these people here, they volunteer. We don't get paid for anything. Y'all do. Y'all get paid, but y'all ain't doing nothing. I mean, y'all run in the city. I mean, you should be proud of your city and want to take care of it. Correct? I don't want dead dogs in the waterway or in a ditch on the side of the road. Because we've told Josh, hey, there's one on the side of the road, come pick it up. Now, when it's in the county, I get a hold of the county. Or we post it on Facebook, and the owners are happy that they're sad, but they're happy that they have closure. These other ones that he's put down, people that are still missing animals, they don't have closure. That's pretty much all I need to say, I guess.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I guess. Did everybody that filled out one of these forms get a chance to speak? Okay, well, thank you. And it will be on our agenda. I've already got a copy of it to discuss what to do
She
with
has not
the,
got to speak. My name hasn't been called. I was the second person handing my name.
what?
My name hasn't been called.
Okay, well, I thought I had one other question.
Okay. Can I
Okay.
have?
I think I got it right. Are you Renee?
No, I'm Shelley Whalen. Red pen.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
8204 Sleeper address. I actually prepared a written statement. This is the 3rd time I've changed it because so many things have changed since I've just in the last few days. That's me. So I'm trying to aim for a balanced perspective and trying to remain positive, but these are some really challenging, hard topics here, and I'm going to try and frame it as not complaints but concerns. I think it's essential that there is community involvement and accountability for animal control. And from what I understand, there's not an established committee to regulate, observe, and monitor Silsbee animal control. So I think it would be essential to propose that an ad hoc committee be implemented immediately as an interim measure until a standing committee can be established. The ad hoc committee could act as a task force to address the immediate needs of animal control while formalizing long-term governance structures. Clear expectations, regular check-ins, and defined consequences and outcomes need to be made crystal clear. I've been inside the shelter in Silsbee, and I know that there's bullet markings on the walls of the kennels. And I don't know what the circumstances are, when they occurred, or why they occurred. I just know that speaking for myself and my own core values, that I feel that we must act as civil, compassionate human beings and lead by example. And normalizing animal cruelty is a mistake. People become desensitized to it, so dumping animals becomes just a normal part of what people do, and they just laugh it off in a lot of circumstances. Not spaying, neutering, allowing animals to run at large, it just becomes normal. And every animal deserves a peaceful, dignified end of life, not a violent one. Only professional euthanasia provides a truly pain-free passing, and we have a responsibility as human beings to act like human beings. And what was recently shared with me is that there is another allegation against the previous ACO who would take the dogs to the dump on a Friday afternoon so that he didn't have to come to the shelter on the weekends and tend to them.
And I am happy to share that information with the city council and law enforcement, as I do have the names, and I just don't want to say it out loud here in public, but this is somebody that knew about it, and if people knew about it, they need to answer to those allegations. We need to examine the reasons why these animals are dumped and focus on root causes, and primary factors should be looked at to start addressing the actual problems of why people are dumping these animals, why they feel abandonment is their only option. Is it socioeconomic, behavioral? Do they need help with spay or neutering? We need to identify these problems as a first step. So let's support mechanisms and implement some preventive measures. I also believe law enforcement plays a very key role in deterring the abandonment and mistreatment of animals. Henderson County Sheriff and the Trinity Sheriff's Department are two examples of law enforcement taking serious action against such cruelty, and they both regularly post on their social media, including mug shots and the stories of those being arrested. This is well received by the public, and it builds bridges and supports gaining trust of the general population as well. People need to be aware that dumping animals, condemning them to a slow and torturous death from starvation, risk of being shot, hit by a car, etc., are extremely cruel, and it needs to stop. If they can't look after their animal, they shouldn't be entertaining the idea of getting one. And they are a commitment and a responsibility, and therefore just dumping them warrants a punishment. My final comment is something that I wanted to bring up that I've heard multiple times about people saying they didn't want to come forward out of fear from good old boys. And on Paul Mueller's page, the same term is used to quote, "There is a long-standing lack of accountability and transparency going back to a deep-rooted good old boys system." Now, I don't know who these good old boys are, or who these people are referring to, but in today's day and age, when a citizen feels unsafe to express concern because they perceive that there's going to be retribution, that is very wrong. And a much broader range of perspectives and professionalism needs to be taking place. There is no place for good old boys way of thinking. This is 2026 and not Hazard County. So, thank you. In closing, I just want to say that I truly hope Council takes a decisive action on these issues, because I would prefer to see this handled by the current leadership. And please don't take offense if these situations are not resolved. I'm prepared to run for a seat myself and ensure that the community gets the representation it needs. But in the meantime, I offer you my full support in helping implement an ad hoc committee, fundraising, volunteering, whatever you need, in a positive and constructive manner. I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any of you guys that want to come back and give your input on what you'd like to see in an animal shelter are welcome to come back when it's on an agenda item, which I'm sorry, but it takes like 4 working days of being posted before we can put something on the agenda. So if we call a special meeting like this isn't a regular meeting, we call it to take care of a specific item. We have to get it on the agenda before then, and that didn't happen this time, but you're welcome to come back.